What's up, bro? I just want you to close your eyes for a bit and just imagine, okay? Imagine there's two versions of you. One is extremely lazy. They don't do the work. They're unmotivated. They're lazy. They're not disciplined. Whereas the other version of you is extremely hardworking, disciplined, driven, determined, hardworking, motivated, gets the work done no matter what. I want you to imagine you right now, the current version of you. This current version is a constant war with these two versions of yourself. Some days you wake up and you feel like you actually want to do the work. You wake up feeling motivated, you wake up feeling purposeful, you wake up feeling driven. Then there's other days where you wake up feeling tired, groggy, sluggish, lazy. You don't want to do the work. Just imagine your life, alright? Imagine if you became that lesser version of yourself. Would you be happy? Would you be proud of yourself? Would you feel loved? Would you feel important? Now, imagine that greater version of yourself. You would feel amazing about yourself, wouldn't you? You would feel proud of yourself. You would feel loved as well. Because most likely, there'll probably be women that will want to be with you. You can open your eyes now. The thing is, that greater version of yourself is possible to reach. And it just starts with doing the work that you don't want to do. Whereas, you also need to realize that that lesser version of yourself, that's also possible to reach. And that starts by putting off the work that you don't want to do. So if you're trying to build a stronger mind, if you're trying to build immense strength, you're trying to become a person that's actually staying true to their word and follows through on the actions they're supposed to do. It all starts by doing the work that you know you're supposed to do, and you need to stop putting it off. Also, a quick reminder, scroll down and click the link below and join my free online men's community, okay? This just opened on the platform School. Join it. The first 100 people are going to get in free, so you want to get in now. Doing hard things is difficult. I'll be real. Doing hard things is difficult. Sometimes you don't want to go on a run. Sometimes you don't want to record a video. Sometimes you don't want to go to training. Sometimes you don't want to go up and speak to that girl. But the thing is, what makes the hard work beautiful is you not wanting to do it, but then actually following through and still doing the action. Because after you finish the action, you realize, I did that shit. And I actually felt good about it as well. I remember the first time I went to kickboxing training, okay? Like, this is me, introverted as hell, just don't know anybody there. I don't want to go into that space. I'm out of my comfort zone. Imagine you being just uncomfortable, that feeling of uncomfort where you're around people you don't know and it's just men and they are ready to fight and actually take your head off. This was scary for me when I first went to the fighting gym. And prior to anything before, I've never fought in my life. I've never went to kickboxing training. I never did boxing. So I was just a newbie. I was just a noob going straight into kickboxing training for the first time. And I was scared. Now, I'm a pretty big guy, so people are usually intimidated of me. But imagine you going in, right? You're going into a gym with a lot of guys, and you just see all these people just like sparring each other. They're doing question mark kicks and shit, and they're like proper hitting each other with everything they've got, just absolutely going at it, no stopping. And you can see these guys are getting hurt. They're grunting. They're like, ugh, just grunting because of the pain, bro. When you see this, and just imagine you looking at this as a newbie, and you're like, shit, what am I getting myself into? I was like, fuck, like, what am I actually doing here? So it's my first session. I'm doing the drills, just learning the drills at first before we get into sparring. So we're just doing the drills, learning from the coach. Then the coach is like, let's get into some sparring now. I put my gum shield in. My gloves were already on. My shin pads were already on as well because we're kickboxing. I take a sip of my drink and I look around at the gym because I'm a big guy, so they had to match you up with someone else that was my size or my weight just to make it fair. I see this guy. Now, me and this guy were about the same height, but I'm a bit taller and I'm even a bit more stockier. But this guy looked like he was ready to kill me. Now, I'm looking at this guy and I'm looking him in the eyes as well. This is before we get into the ring. It sounds like a proper boxing match, but it was just sparring. And it felt like a proper boxing match because just the tension in the place. Imagine feeling that like anxiety feeling where you're like excited but you're also scared. That's exactly how I felt. I'm looking at this guy and this is where I started to get psyched up. I'm a bit like I'm getting in the groove because I'm excited. I'm ready to fight, but I'm also scared at the same time because I know this guy's experienced. We get in the ring, we start sparring, touch gloves, bang. I'm there trying to keep my distance because I'm the taller fighter. Not by much, but I'm still the taller fighter, so I'm trying to keep my distance and just jab. That's all I'm doing, I'm just jabbing, keeping him away. The sparring rounds are about 2 minutes or 3 minutes, but when I tell you that alarm sound, the ding ding ding, when that went off, bro, I had no sense of time, no sense of my surroundings, just laser focus on who's in front of me. So he's there like taking it easy on me. I'm still trying to keep my distance. And I'm getting pissed off now as well because I'm like, why is he trying to take it easy on me? Like, does he see me as like a weakling or something like that? So my ego's kind of getting bruised because like he's taking it easy on me. So I'm starting to get pissed off a bit. So I start trying to lash out a bit, still controlled because I'm not a brawler fighter. I like to be a technical fighter. So I was there trying to lash out at him. I have him in the corner. I'm there hitting him, just throwing all my punches. I'm there feeling good in my mind. I'm like, this is easy, man. What the hell am I scared about? Bam! Straight left hook. And I feel that and I'm like, whoa, rattled. I wasn't phased or knocked out or anything. I wasn't like what's it called? What's that feeling when I wasn't rocked, but it hit me and I felt his power and I was like, shit, this is not fun. As soon as I felt that, I realized I did not want to be in that ring anymore. Imagine being a new person coming into a fighting sport that you're not familiar with. You've never done this before, and you're just doing your best. And an experienced fighter just absolutely hits you, gives you a taste of what he can do. It's gonna scare you. You're gonna be a bit drawn back. You're gonna like shut up. You know. You don't want to feel that again. That's exactly what happened. And from then on, it was like a lion chasing an antelope. I was there running around the ring, just trying to keep my distance. Jab, jab, jab. Keep my distance. And he's there just walking me down, cutting me off as well. And I'm like, shit. When is this timer gonna go off? Because I don't want to be here anymore. Eventually, the timer went off, and my heart was pumping in my chest. And when that timer went off, everything just calmed down. Like it was like I just came back to life. And then touched gloves with him, went out the ring, and that was training done. Did our stretches, did our cool down, and then went back to the training rooms, got out there, and I was just like thinking to myself, do I really want to go back to that place again? Do I really want to go back to the boxing gym and get absolutely battered again? I don't know if I want to do it. And what else do you think I did? I went back to the kickboxing gym. And now I'm actually enjoying it. Now it's easy to me. Not necessarily easy, but now it's easy for me to go because I actually enjoy doing it. I did the hard part, which is showing up. But now the hard part is obviously getting in the ring and fighting people that are better than you. But the hardest part was showing up and staying there, even though I hated every single bit of it. So once again, if you really want to build a stronger mind, you need to do the things that you don't want to do. You need to do the hard things and embrace the hard work, even when you don't feel like doing it. I recently learned as well, actually, on Andrew Huberman's podcast. If you don't know who Andrew Huberman is, he's a neuroscientist. I learned on his podcast with David Goggins about a certain neuro brain chemical. I'm not sure if it's a chemical or a actual part in the brain, but there's something called the anterior mid cingulate cortex. Let me write that down for y'all, all right? The anterior mid cingulate cortex. All right? Now let's say that this is your brain, okay? This right here is your brain. Let me just draw like whatever that is. It's a cloud, but let's say, whatever. That's your brain right there, okay? And the anterior mid cingulate cortex is located like here, right? Now, this part of your brain is associated with doing the hard things, it's kind of linked with dopamine. The more you do something, the more you're gonna feel, and the more you get a positive feedback loop off it, you're gonna be like, I actually like this. When you eat the good food, when you eat the bad food, sorry, when you eat a cake or chocolate and it feels good, that's a dopamine increase. You're gonna look for more sugar because that's the main thing that you're attracted to. You're gonna look for more sugar because that feels good. So if you can trick your brain to do the hard things, you'll be unstoppable. So the anterior midcingulate cortex is basically that. And from my knowledge, it's actually very small in bigger people, in fat people. All right, if you're fat, you have a small anterior midcingulate cortex because you don't do the hard things. You take the easy way. You take the instant gratification. This is all about delayed gratification. Okay, so to increase this anterior midcingulate cortex, it's simply just to do the hard things. Now, how I was able to increase my willpower, my mindset, and my inner strength was obviously through doing hard things, but you have to start small. You can't just go straight into doing hard things and then you'll probably burn out or something. So you must start small. And when I say start small, I genuinely mean start small. Going back to that analogy in the start of the video when I said there's two versions of you, there was a point in time when I was a lesser version of myself. I wouldn't do the hard work. I would be lazy and I'd put off the things that I know I'm supposed to do. For me to build this up, it started with me going to the gym. It started with me lifting weights. It started with me going on runs. It started with me with doing cold showers. And I know there's a whole stigma of cold showers being like, unimportant or whatever, but it does build mental fortitude. And if you want to build mental fortitude, you must start small. So I suggest using cold showers. Just 30 seconds at every end of the shower. If you do this, you will build up that comfortability with doing the hard thing. So you want to start small. Second thing that also helped me increase my willpower, my strength, my mindset was lying to myself. Okay? Now it sounds a bit weird, but why would you lie to yourself? But obviously, you need to take it into context. When I say you lie to yourself, you just trick your brain. You trick yourself into doing something, and then you actually end up doing that task. So if I didn't want to go to the gym, I literally just put my clothes on. I put my shoes on. I put my clothes on, and I'd be sitting there like, oh yeah, I don't want to go to the gym, but oh look, my clothes are already on. Let me just walk out the door. So then I walk out the door, and I'm like, I'm still not gonna go to the gym. I'm just gonna go for a walk. And by the time I'm walking, I'm already close to the gym. I might as well just go to the gym, because I'd lie to myself that I'm already there. Same with doing productive work. If I want to do productive work, I'll just sit down on my computer chair. I will procrastinate. I'll sit there like, I don't want to do this anymore, but I'll just start opening the tabs that I need to open. And the work is there. It's in front of me. So I'm just sitting there and I'm like, oh no, I'm just looking at it. I'm not going to actually do it. Then I start doing it a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more for like 5 minutes. And after 5 minutes, what do you know? I'm literally doing the work. So if you can lie to yourself and actually trick yourself in and trick your brain into thinking you're not going to do the thing, but then you end up doing it, this can help you obviously embrace that hard work. And if you embrace that hard work and you're actually doing the work, once again, you're building up that mental fortitude. So you want to lie to yourself. And it's really that simple. Those simple two things, starting small and lying to myself, those things help me build my strength. Those things help me build my mental fortitude. They help me build my mindset. I didn't want to go back to the kickboxing gym, but I lied to myself saying that I'm just going to try it out for a bit more and then I'll quit. I kept going back and back and back and back. I never want to go to the gym. Some days I don't want to go to the gym, but I'll lie to myself and be like, let's just go work out for 10 minutes. Let's just go work out for 30 minutes. Next thing you know, I'm there for 2 hours. Okay? So the reason why I'm bringing these up is because, and the reason why I'm bringing up the anterior midcingulate cortex is if you know that there's something in your brain that every time you eat the bad food, every time you take the instant gratification route, is literally shrinking. Every time you do this, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Okay? But if you're able to embrace the hard work and you know that there's something in your brain that gets bigger the more you do the hard things, then if you go to the gym, if you do something you're scared about, if you do something that you're not comfortable with, every time it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. This is why people like David Goggins, LeBron James, Kobe are able to work for hours and hours and hours because their anterior mid-cingulate cortex is already big. And the more you put off the work, the smaller it gets. It starts to shrink. That's why you must do something every single day that you don't want to do. And you can't like it. Okay? Now that I like going to the gym and lifting weights, it doesn't increase my anterior mid-cingulate cortex. Now that I like going to kickboxing training, it doesn't increase this. But let's say if I do something that I don't want to do, like I take a cold shower, that's going to increase the mid-cingulate cortex because I don't like cold showers. I don't want to be in there right now, okay? So you need to do something that you don't like in order to grow that mental fortitude and mindset. That's one of the reasons why I always say the saying, pay your dues, because every single day there is dues to be paid. There is something you must do, and you must pay that with your hard work. It's that simple, okay? It's easier said than done, of course. We all struggle with this. We all wake up some days and we don't want to do the thing, or some days we wake up and we feel motivated. But if you can be that person, remember, if you can be that greater version of yourself, imagine that greater version of yourself that's able to do the work no matter how he feels, no matter how he's thinking. He's able to get up, be disciplined, be driven, be optimistic, and do the hard work. Then you're unstoppable, brother. You are literally unstoppable. That's it for this video today, brother. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. And as always, pay your dues.